All right, I just want to get into this one because I know the teams have been patiently waiting. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this match, man. How are you guys feeling about this one?
Man, I'm super excited for this one. Another group of deathmatch. We got Team UK and Team Norway going at it together. Made a little rhyme there, but yeah, two super strong teams. The 1 and the 2 seed going at it. Super excited for this one. Two really strong lineups, and Norway kind of having a little bit of edge over them, but we're gonna see UK not backing down as they just came off their win against Germany, albeit very close, but looking to put up a really good fight against Norway as well. So we're gonna see these lineups. We're gonna have Shaun, Xander, Flairy, Luke, and Jazz, kind of the lineup we expected from them. Overall, just their strongest, best lineup. So they're gonna be looking to go all out against this team, Norway. Wally, what do you think about this lineup we have here in front of us?
I mean, this is, like you said, probably the best lineup that UK could put out. And this is surprisingly not one that you've seen in scrims. In scrims, you've been seeing a lot of other substitutions from them. You've seen Klein playing a lot of the time, just from him being purely active, as well as British being the main bagger. So I'm excited to see this lineup in full effect.
And I want to hear your thoughts as well, Aiden, on this lineup.
Yeah, this lineup's pretty much the dream team for UK. I think the only thing that might have changed is if Lunar had decided to play. I think he dropped out of the national team, and he might be in place of Flairy, and that's like a might. I think Flairy might still be in this lineup, even if he was on the team. But with that in mind, I think this is the best vibe that they could gather. I'm happy to see it, considering they didn't scrim with this lineup. And,
right.
I think this is. I think it's like a full package lineup in a lot of ways. Like Jazz is a really, really good bagger, and then all 4 of these players are really, really talented runners, but can all play pretty well, like from the back of the pack, like play more utility role as well. And I think it's like Jeff said in like an interview after MKPS, I want to say, where I think at the top level, the game isn't defined into these niche player roles, right? Everybody has to take on each type of play throughout a match, and I think all 4 of those players are capable of it.
Yeah, definitely 100%. As you were saying before, kind of the Lunar not being there is a big factor. Kind of hurts them a little bit, but it seems like he's been having internet issues, so that's definitely a key player that they're missing, but still overall very strong lineup. Now, hopefully we can switch over to the Team Norway lineup for a little bit so that we can talk about them. I'm expecting something like Fox, Barney, Noctl, Jeenu, and Kyon. Okay.
Noctl, Jeenu, Twingy is the lineup for Norway, which obviously a very strong lineup. Not having Kyon, not ideal, but really this Norway team is just full of strong runners.
Yeah, 100% agree. You know, these guys have played with each other a lot in teams like VA, MW. So that chemistry is kind of like already built between them. So we've seen them just kind of destroying the other teams so far that they've played against. Beat Germany by quite a good amount. Beat Mexico by, I think, over 200 or something like that. So very strong showing from this team so far and not looking to slow down. Aiden, any thoughts on this team?
I mean, I want to know what you guys think about Kyon not being in the lineup, because this is the graphic is like slightly incorrect, right? Where we have Jeenu in as a runner and Twingy bagging. So do you think Kyon not being in this and Jeenu running instead changes this that much? Like, how do you think that swings the outcome of this match? Because I feel like against a team like UK, you ideally do want the best possible lineup that you have. And maybe it just didn't work out with their schedule or something.
Yeah.
You know what? About that, I don't really think that it's that big of a deal, because they have such a really strong top 3 in Noctl, Fox, and Barney, that when you have those 3 top runners, you almost want more of a mid-pack player. So if you have someone like Jeenu, it's really not even that bad. It may end up working dividends for them in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. You know, Jeenu actually a pretty strong runner on Team AP2 from what we've seen in MKPS. So really looking forward to see what he can do here working with these runners, as you know, he's playing with 3 D1 runners, which I'm sure he's not actually used to. So could be a little bit of disconnect there in terms of like skill / like call outs and all that. So looking to see how he works with them. But looks like we're going to be getting into our first race now. Players are loading in on N64 Bowser's Castle. Wally, can I get a little strategy perspective, what you would kind of do at the beginning here and like getting into the middle of the race as well?
Yeah, stay out of the middle right here. Either try to hit a first box, catch a draft. This is a track that has so many tight turns that's almost impossible to avoid some of the back spam, especially if you double up with one of your teammates, that you want to be able to get in early, just like Norway's done with Fox and Barney. And right now, if Barney had an item here, they could really just decimate the rest of the UK players behind them.
Yeah, and we see Norway kind of breaking away in that top 2 already on RBC, and this is kind of what they want. Xander pressuring in third, possibly having a shrimp here, but looks like a red shell. Gonna be taking out Barney. Very smart to actually get in the grass a little there to avoid that red shell, but gonna find himself in a mid spot, looking like Fox being the only Team Norway member up there. Shaun kind of behind here, Luke as well in 6th, and then in 5th. Gonna be seeing if Norway can get the shock here. Not really sure who's winning the bagging battle so far. But it looks like it's going to be playing a crucial role as the pack is still insanely close. It's going to be looking for like a trip reds or something to kind of schlag it at the beginning of this lap and give Team Norway that breakaway.
And holding the star in here at 7th, not a bad idea, but you want to see that Jazz here is the first one back, and that's really big unless Norway has pulled it already in 9th. And that fib there, really scary, good avoidance there coming in. But bottom 3 for Norway does not look good. You have to just rely on Fox to be able to lock down that first spot.
Yeah, I feel like right now we see Jazz still going backwards. Maybe just going to be sitting at the line because he already has it, or maybe he's about to fall off. So it looks like he's falling off. Nobody has the shock yet. We still see Twingy going back. If I were him right now, I would not waste my time and I would just be spamming boxes in 9th because that's his best bet right now. Jazz is just really far gone. But yeah, for now, we're going to be seeing, I believe, UK 2-3-4 at the moment. Fox maybe still holding up that first place, but a lot of pressure behind him right now as these racers are getting into lap 3.
And you need to see the Norway players that are in these bottom spots that have been hitting boxes in 7 and 8 start to make their moves, because unless they're holding the shock, they're running out of time here. There's not going to be a ton of potential to catch up other than just the grass cut at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we've been seeing a lot of lap 2 shocks in a lot of these matches, which have been paying off to catch their runners up. But for now, if I were UK, I would just kind of hold this right.
This is top 3 for UK. Top 3-5 for UK right now. Fox got hit. Yeah, Fox got knocked out. So right now, this is big control coming in from UK, and that fib, good avoidance from Barney. But, I mean, this is a lock.
Yeah, this is looking really good for UK, unless the shock can come out from Team Norway at the end here. But for now, Team UK just kind of running this and going to be taking it home, it looks like. We see a blue shell coming out. I think a UK member chained it as they were holding it the whole race. So top 3 for Team UK and a really strong showing on race. Top 3-6 for Team UK. Really strong showing out of the gate. Insane.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything better from that. You're getting the blue with your Xander, and you're able to hold it all the way to the end, and your team is just able to outrun that after they take out Fox. You're just in a great position.
Hayden, any takeaways from that race so far?
I thought that was incredibly calm, like a very like low-key race to start off the whole thing. I think with a lot of the better teams, once we got past the playing stage, we saw a lot of like chaos between a lot of the top teams who are able to swing races back and forth from like giving one team the edge versus the other team the edge. Like it just swings back and forth between 2 really good teams. And here, I don't really feel like that was the case at all. Like the race was like very calm. There was no big shock play. The blue kind of came like way too late. It was just like a very simple race to watch. I didn't, unexpectedly unexcited.
Yeah.
To open this one.
Yeah. No, honestly, 100% agreed. I would think, first race coming out, as Wally was saying at the beginning of the races, so many like narrow corridors and stuff to be back spamming on, but didn't really see our racers getting hit. Didn't see much. We just kind of saw like an easy, like cool, clean, crisp run from Team UK after they took Fox out of first. Not sure what happened to him, if he got blued or, if someone took him out with like a mega or a red or something, but, really well played by UK. Not a lot of commotion, and maybe just Team Norway got unlucky with no shock.
That was a really big opener for them, by the way. That's going to be a win by 21 for UK, and I think from what we've seen a lot of times in these matches, the races that you're able to get are often victories that are only by a margin of, say, like 10, maybe like 15 sometimes. And those races that swing by like 20 plus points are so rare that, for Norway now, if we're just going off of how the other matches have gone, that 20-point deficit is something you have to work back over the course of like 3 races.
Yeah,
you can't really expect to have another 20-point swing immediately in your favor.
Yeah, but I mean, also don't be speaking too soon because it is the game of Mario Kart. A lot of top 3s, a lot of top 4s happening just out of the blue. But you're right, we haven't really been seeing a lot of like consistent like top 3s or 4s. We've been seeing a lot of even races coming out, unless we could see like, okay, I'll take that back. We have seen a lot of top 3s and 4s consistently, but mostly just for one team. We haven't really seen a lot of back and forth. And if we have, it's been like, 2 3 4s, like 1 4 5s from 2 teams that are like really close together in skill. But so far, immediate top 3 coming out from Team UK, and we're on BCW right now. We see Team Norway in, I believe that's 4 5 6 7, if I'm not mistaken. So is UK in top 3 right now, running BCW?
It's a lot of middle spots. You have to be hoping that Twingy is making something happen at the back. I can't quite tell who's beating who at the moment. They're both going backwards for the 2nd lap in a row now, and showing that like neither side has gotten the shock at this point. For Norway, I think this is definitely the type of track where there's just like no crazy shortcut that you can really take advantage of that helps you catch up, other than the glitch, right? Which is pretty finicky when everybody's on the Flame Runner, and at this level of play, it's like relatively standard for it to be blocked.
Yeah.
So Norway kind of needs the shock to be able to catch up on this 3rd lap, because otherwise you don't really have a good way of closing the distance.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we see Jazz beating Twingy back there in last place. So we see UK kind of running for free in this top 2. And yeah, it looks like they're just going to be doing that for the rest of the race unless a blue shell comes.
If you're these mid spots in Norway, you have to chain boxes. You can't just sit here and wait for some good news to come to you. These are all good players, and they're not just going to screw up on their own. You have to be able to find a blue shell, or at least be able to hit something in the middle to secure all the middle spots and mitigate the damage on the 2nd race. But red getting hit by a red there from Barney at the top of the stairs, not a good spot here. So really only losing spots out to Norway, not the worst. So the rest of the mid spots here are being occupied by Norway, so that is good to at least mitigate that damage a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw UK top 2 just run the whole thing, but we see somebody getting blue in the line for Team Norway, possibly UK passing them and getting that 6th place. Pretty huge for them, considering UK was really far back in that bottom 2. So we did expect to see a UK top 2 bottom 2, but it seems like a UK member was able to get 6th place due to, I think, Fox getting blued on the line there. So unfortunate for him, unfortunate for Team Norway not being able to get shock. And possibly we could have, I think that's what we saw. We definitely saw a blue shell being held by Team UK in that 7th place. And yeah, Fox actually getting last place. Wow. Okay, so UK's bottom 2 by a mile, somehow able to come back and beat Fox. So really strong race again from Team UK.
And just goes to show that they were holding the blue again. So really good that UK is able to get the blue and just hold on to it. And when you have Jazz winning the backwards battle, and you have pretty much all the pieces of the puzzle there for a race in the blue and the shock, as well as the top spots, it's going to be hard to do anything if you're Norway in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do in that situation is just hold everything you get. And, you're just playing really well with your resources at that point. Some teams may opt to try to use an earlier shock to try to get the remaining members up there. But UK playing really patiently and really well, as it's really important to make your top 2 cross the line, because that's what's going to win your races, is getting that top 2 and securing it. So really well played by Team UK and using their resources intelligently. And now we get another UK track pick coming to Moonview Highway.
And this is where it gets really scary if you're Norway, right? Like you lost the first race really badly, and then UK gets back-to-back courses where there's not a lot of room to catch up. And when you get stuff like that in a row, you can just compound all the damage even further. And from a mentality standpoint alone, it's got to be really hard on Norway.
Yeah, and we're going to see this Moonview Highway kind of taking a toll on them as well, as starting in first. Really good fit by Xander there on Noctl, and looks like he's going to be looking to break away here, which he can do so easily if nobody goldens up here. Looks like he's going to be fine. Maybe looking to back that bomb car with a green. No, going to be staying in first. and I think Xander gonna have a free front run for now, but we do see his fellow MW members pressuring behind him with Barney and Fox. So a little bit of pressure coming behind him, but not going to see much happening as Xander, usually really good player in the front, really good at avoiding snipes and backspam. So I expect him to keep his first unless the blue shell will be coming here.
Yeah, and being able to make it to the boost pad section of the first lap without having your spot contested like Xander has done, almost certainly gonna make it to the whole race and let bar a shock or a blue. So really gonna be tough to get him out of there. And we can see now Luke's in the back but holding a star. And if you're UK and you have this bottom 2 here, you're really not that far out, and you can potentially dodge even for a set still because you're maintaining all the bottom spots and likely all of the dodges.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And you know, doing a really good job here of doing that. Maybe Shaun was able to get something, but yeah, like we were saying before, it really surprised me that nobody like goldened up past Xander on the first set. So kind of a rarity. We don't really see that too often, seeing first place kind of keep their spot with no draft, no golden. So got a little lucky there. Seems like his breakaway is still intact, and we're seeing, I believe, a 2-3 from Team Norway still. Somebody getting hit out of the top there, but we see Flairy in fourth. Going to be a 1-4-5 right now from Team UK, I believe, and it looks like it's just going to be that. I don't see a shot coming in anytime soon, and very calm races from what we've seen, unless a little
Shaun
bit of
tripping up at the end too.
Yeah,
this is bottom 2, bottom 3 for Norway.
Gonna be honest, very boring races we've seen so far.
Not living up to expectation at all. I think this is also crazy too, because Norway is like especially from the other matches that they played, are kind of this titan, and Germany gave them like a little trouble at the beginning, but overall Norway's really run into like no problems. And this is the first time they've like really had to play from behind, I think. And I wonder what I have to imagine with like how experienced people are on their team, that you know, they have some grasp of like, you know, positive mentality and like not tilting. But this is a position that they haven't had to play from in this tournament before, and I wonder how it's gonna go because of that. Like, if that will they just like tilt and like UK will just pull away from here, or do they have what it takes to step back into this?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I think another thing is that Team Norway is used to getting more shocks because they haven't really played against a top like D1 bagger like Jazz before. So kind of struggling in the bagging department. I think UK has gotten all the shocks. We've seen Jazz just breaking away in last every single race, and tough for Twingy to catch up to him. Maybe, what do you guys think? Do you think like Jeenu could have done a little bit different bagging and have Kyon running could make a difference, or do you think this is okay? Like, you can't really change much here.
Dude,
I don't
hard
think
to say.
Like, yeah, I think Jazz is just such a great bagger in general that it's going to be tough no matter who from Norway is going backwards against him. You're going to have a rough time. Yeah. And just like I said last race, here we are, another good front running track for UK in a row. Yeah,
a lot of track picks coming in Team UK's favor. Seems like a lot of luck as well, just touching their hearts this GP as they're getting all the track picks, a lot of blues to hold, and also the shocks as well. So Norway definitely having a little trouble grounding for some resources, and gonna see a top 2 break most likely right now, unless a play can be made with these trip greens from Noctl.
Yeah, I mean, again, just a little spin out there from Xander, so we do have not a ton of wiggle room there for him.
And we're going to see Luke taking over in first place, kind of where he's most comfortable, you know, very well-known TT player. And this is kind of where he wants to be. He wants to be in that first place, away from the items, try to get away from blue shells, away from shocks. But we're going to see Barney with a golden in third, actually coming up right now to probably take over that first from Luke. And we're going to see a battle from 2 Titans in the top 2.
Yeah, maintaining that second place now. He's really got to hold on to this. He's kind of sandwiched between all these UK players, so that POW really does hurt with that shock, but he's mainly able to at least stay in here. And the ground star, he actually takes it away from Luke, so was able to take over first.
This is Barney finding himself in a star at the front, and Xander kind of contending him for this top spot. Shroom allowing him to pull away a little bit. This might be Norway's chance at 15 points for the first time this war. but UK has so many spots behind him. Fox coming up as well. It looks like Fox may have gotten into second. If Barney just looks behind him again, I might get a good idea. And I think they're just sitting in 1-3 right now. I can't tell. Both of the baggers still hitting boxes, it looks like. They're both sitting at that set. Barney, interesting, by the way, as confident of a runner as he is, not risking like going or like messing up jackstrat each lap, not really worth the like minor gain in time versus like maybe messing it up and like going wide, allowing the people behind him to pass him. And looks like Norway settling into a top 2. Noctl navigated his way into second, getting another ground shroom and pulling away even more. So this race is looking really, really solid for Norway right now, unless something changes right at the end.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a free first for Barney. Not going to see any blue shells. Stopping at the line for his teammate as maybe a blue shell call was coming in. But looks like it's going to be a top 2 for Team Norway as they had the resources there holding on to the blue shell. Did we see a shock that race, or was it another shockless, boring race?
There was one at the beginning of lap 2 on the spiral branch right after the cannon, so there was a little bit, but it didn't really seem like it impacted too much of the race. Maybe some Norway players got some dodges in the mid spots and were able to catch up, but not a ton there.
Let's see the spots come up. This is the first really solid race for Norway at 1, 2, 5, and 8, 9. So this it's a step in the right direction. It's nice to see that like across this first GP, they can lock down like at least one win. That definitely makes the point differential much more reasonable heading into the rest of the war. They're only down by 28 with 8 races to go, so super reasonable to come back from. I think like with that race in mind, however well UK played the entire time, Norway showing some life for sure. And yeah, I think like back to what Brawley said, dude, this has just been like such a quiet GP. The gameplay has not been like super dynamic. People just like running and like you know, not a lot of item play to witness, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it feels like more like we're almost like watching a time trial room or something.
Yeah, definitely. It's just been a lot of running, which I'm sure these players love because a lot of them really strong on TTs, and you know, items do cause a lot of rage in this game. So.
All right. Well, going into the third. Oh, my apologies. Second GP. I hope to see a little more influence on the races from the baggers, because like, it was so limited across the first 4 races. I think like obviously people have to be getting shock at some point, but I think it just happens to be in the possession of like whatever team already has top spots unlocked, and there's really just like no reason to use it until like very, very late in the race when it has a pretty marginal impact. Like you're maybe trying to get your 1 remaining or 2 remaining bottom spots up into the front. We're gonna be watching Luke's perspective. Anybody know what Luke's time is on this track? Does he have a good one here? We're watching the TT God himself. Although Norway has a TT God in their own in Fox. But you know, if I may, Luke is like the new Fox. He's like the new shiny toy. You know, like Fox was like cool like 2 years ago. Now it's Luke, man. Now I'm a Luke fan.
Yeah, I remember when Fox like came onto the scene. It was he bursted onto the scene, and everyone thought that it was just there's no way he's this fast out of nowhere. We've never really heard of this guy before, and I mean he's shown it for years now. And Luke now is just every course he touches, he's just like, oh yeah, I figured it out. Here we are. There's a top 10 time.
Yeah,
no problem here.
Not even just regs either. You see custom tracks. The man has had so many BKTs on 216 custom tracks. I'm sure he has like a top 10 on every single one. Would not be surprised at all. But you know, sometimes we do see his downfall a little bit when it comes to items. You know, he's very used to being in the front at all times, and that's where he's most comfortable. Definitely outside of his comfort zone when he has to be surrounded by a different item. So definitely something to work on for him. But for now, we're going to see a Norway top 2. Kind of used to playing Mountain, I would say. I think they voted quite a lot in MW when they played together. So Xander also used to playing this track. And looks like a lot of commotion going on for Luke right now. Unfortunately, getting taken out by a red there. Gonna see UK here in 6-7. UK, unfortunately, looks like 6, 7, 8. So Xander, the only hope up there, I think in second place or first, gonna be questionable to see who has the shock here and what role it will play.
And this is a tough place to get shocked too, just because, you know, while you're touching boxes, you're always going to have to be hitting it at 9th. And it's not like it's Toad's Factory where you can really try to have some racers try and go and get the bill early on. So you have to pull it in 8th, or you just have to get lucky as the bagger. So really an interesting position for them to be in. And with Norway occupying most of the top spots, it's gonna be a good spot for them to be in right now.
Definitely. And it's a really good track to kind of cancel out Jazz's dragging. Unfortunately, Luke getting taken out by a ground red. So looking like a pretty grim race for Team UK right now. Interesting to see if a shock will come, but doesn't look like that will be the case. And we're gonna see a top 2, top 3, I believe.
Top 3, 7, maybe top 3, 8. Yeah, top 3, 8.
Wow.
That ooh slip out. Ooh, that was a bad ooh.
Dude, him hitting that red was so funny.
You saw it the whole way. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like slowed down and like lined it up, and then ran into it. It was very funny. We'll see what all the final spots are at the end. I'm curious how the back ended up finishing. I don't think that POW really had an effect on anything, and Norway locking a nice top 3.
And you know what? I was thinking about it a little bit, how we were saying that the first few races were boring. They were boring from a spectator perspective, but they were really clean, like through and through. They were just clean. Everyone got their spots and just kind of held and maintained it, and no mistakes coming out because, like we said at the beginning, all these racers here are really good. So you have those situations, and the races are just going to seem boring. But from a racer perspective, we did everything that we needed to do. We checked all the boxes, and we did our job.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, that race swings quite a bit in Norway's favor. That's going to be a 19-point win for them, and now only down by 9, 157 to 148. This is starting to get a little spicier. Like race to race, maybe not the craziest of swings, like, you know, when we're looking within the race itself, but this is super back and forth in terms of overall scores.
Yeah, no, it's been like a super close match, which is awesome, but haven't seen any like big plays where I can just yell at the top of my lungs like I haven't been doing for a lot of these matches. So
and Goldmine coming out for Norway, this is really big for them, just from the fact that they finally got a good race and they get a track pick after, and that's exactly what they need. So the ball is in their court right now with what they do with this. And it could have been really rough after UK got both, 2 to 3 good races in a row with the following track picks, and kind of removing some of the great front-running tracks off the table, puts Norway in more of a bind. But this is a great track for front-running, and especially if it's one of their top courses, they could really mitigate this entire lead and even take it over here. They're only down 11.
Yeah, I actually really love this track. Starting in like top 2, 4 or something of the sort. Really great track for when you're starting in top 5. We see a little bit of troll, I think, Twingy on his own teammate. Yeah. So a bit unfortunate for Barney there, as that's going to help UK breakaway. Actually, Flairy just kind of falling off on the left side there. So unfortunate for him, as he's going to be in the back now. Shock actually playing a very crucial role in this race. You can definitely run it, but definitely a lot of comeback potential with the Shock, as the target shock is a huge spot. Gonna see Xander taking a blue there, so unfortunate for him, as Flairy could have helped maintain that top 2, but for now, Xander gonna stay in second. Barney just gonna use his Mega to try to maybe get Xander out of the way, could get him with his red potentially. Xander just kind of saying, I concede, go ahead and take that spot. And yeah, we're just gonna see Barney try to hold it, but Xander getting red shelled, and it's gonna be a top 2 break for UK again. So unless Shock plays a role here, I think we're just gonna see a smooth run from them.
And this is a course where bagging is really good. If you know how to bag, you can really stretch a lead out. And we're talking about how much Jazz has controlled the bagging game. It's a good chance that he has it, but it looks like he's chasing forward. So I think Jazz is the one that's at 10th, and maybe Twingy does have it.
Wow, that would be huge right now as they can TS Xander. That's exactly what they did. Xander getting TS. It's going to look like it's going to be a 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, for Norway right now. And Twingy coming in the clutch. Luke getting a ground star from Jazz, and looks like he's going to be able to maintain that first for sure, but a really tight pack here in the middle, and we're going to see what's going to happen here at the end. But for now, Barney and Fox in 2-3. I believe the rest of Norway is behind him actually Flairy getting 4th, Xander 5th. So it's looking like, ooh, I think Noctl actually
was
snuck in a
1-4-5.
5th. Yeah, I think it was maybe a 1-4. I'm not even sure because I think Noctl snuck in at the end there. So unclear to see what happened at the end. Really close though. And we finally see a shot coming into play. Something interesting happened, but unfortunately ended up as a Xander TS. So unfortunate for him. Probably got a lower spot. Actually, no, he ended up in like 4th even after getting TS. So good on him to be able to stay with the pack.
And even still, it was the smart call from Norway to go after second because Luke was just gone. There was no reason to go for that TS there on him. Going after Xander was the correct call. But he got a good item and was able to just get right back up in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like general awareness. I feel like a lot of lower level teams miss, or like even if you went to like the standard of competitive, like say like 6 years ago, right, or 7 years ago, it's like the immediate thing that comes to mind is like, oh, we want first, so we will target shock first. But reaching the top level is like acknowledging that the game is more about like making the best of each race rather than like shooting for the stars always. And like you have to like let go of the fact that this race is pretty much lost. Let's recognize that we just need to reduce the loss by as much as possible, and that's what you play around rather than playing to win.
I feel like you could argue that TSing Luke actually would have been good, but it's also just like trading spots. Like I think Xander would have stayed in first regardless, and it would have been like a better effect to have him back there, just to get more mid spots. But he ends up getting 4th anyway, even after the TS. So yeah, maybe they could have caught up a little bit more if they also got a blue, but unfortunately did not get that. And although they got the shock, Team Norway only able to use it as kind of damage control. So maybe they'll be able to do something with it here on Koopa Cape, where shock kind of really effective at the beginning of the lap. We could see a lap 2 shock here. I've learned from this World Cup, especially that lap 2 shocks are crucial on KC and really good for running to get yourself up there.
So here's a question for you guys. If you're Norway and you feel that in a sense that you're a little outclassed in the bagging department, do you start making the plays for courses like this, Coconut Mall, TF, where the bagger battle really is not a matter of just being able to out-bag the other bagger, but just you take the 50-50s on the boxes that are right there?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really strong play, right? Because for one, I don't even think Twingy is necessarily doing that bad. I just think Jazz is like really good, and you're kind of left with these tracks where you want to be able to count on your runners who are obviously very, very capable and just like mitigate the amount of work that Twingy has to do, right? You want to reduce, you want to pick tracks that reduce the skill gap between the two baggers, but also allow your runners to play the game they want. Because like you don't want to go like full luck track where it kind of like more mitigates the ability of your players like Fox and Noctl and Barney. And I think that's a really, really good call on Wally's part.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think cannon tracks will be the bane of Team Norway if UK were to get the shocks, which they have been getting a lot of them. So I agree. I think sitting tracks like, TFKC, CM are all really good picks for them, especially because it seems like they have been outrunning Team Norway a lot with no blues. So because we do have Shaun and Luke, who are both really strong with their lines, kind of used to playing in those top positions, and that's exactly what they want. They want Jazz to get the shock, and they want them to like dodge him in a cannon track in the top 2. So really good for them if Jazz is able to get those shocks so that the other team is not able to catch up.
And this is just, you can look at the mini map right now. The gap between top 2 is just extending between 3rd and the rest of the pack. And even just first, I think it's Shaun in first, and he's just so far ahead of even Luke in 2nd.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Xander still in 3rd, but an invisible red scale taking out Barney there. Kind of unfortunate lag difference there is what I'll call that. But yeah, taking Barney out of the race, and I feel like UK, a shock coming in. We're going to see who dodges here. It looks like a Norway shock is Fox, able to dodge. It's coming up right now, but that top 2 is just way too far gone from Team UK. Definitely going to be a top 2.
Such a rough spot, because like this track, you're doing what you can, catching Fox up and trying to get him some sort of top spots to mitigate the damage. But all in all, right, dodging them on this track at the end is just not going to be that impactful because you don't have the opportunity to cut off that much space. Everyone in front of you is like in the waterfall, which is giving you that little speed boost. that, you know, allows you to stay further ahead than you would on like normal terrain. Also mitigates like the speed effect of the star, I believe. It was just like a really, really rough situation for Norway. UK controlled it from the front really well the entire race.
Yeah, I believe we just saw top 245. Yeah, that's right. We got a top 245 from Team UK. So really good race for them. Again, we kind of just see this pattern of UK getting into the front, not getting blue shelled, and not getting shocked or anything, just being able to hold those top spots, and really worked out well there for them on KC. Now, I'm sure the Toads Factory call definitely going to be coming in, as it is the most optimal track for a top 245.
Yeah, you have to imagine that's the pick that they're going for, especially after having tracks like Maple and RBC already taken off the table as well. So even if it was a niche thing, you have to just expect if you're UK, you're going straight to TF every time. Yeah,
TF definitely a strong call, but also could be, you know, not the greatest, because if we see 5th drafting 2nd, we could see a bill pull from Team Norway if none of the UK members slow down, but I'd imagine that that 5th place would be going to slow down. I know I would be yelling at my teammates to do the same if they were in 5th, or if I was in 5th, I would definitely slow down for the bill, as it's so powerful on TF and allows your bagger to get the shock when you know that information.
Gardens ended up being the pick here, but even if it was TF, that's exactly what we were saying before. You have these sitting tracks, you have the potential of Norway being able to grab the shock in those situations a little bit easier, and we'll see what Twingy could do against Jazz here. Gardens obviously a big dodging track and a big shortcut track just right here at the beginning, and a TC pool right for Barney at the beginning. Obviously not ideal, but it does actually condense the pack even more by being able to pass it off to a UK player and slowing down everyone around him.
Definitely. I think like your best bet for strategy on this track, for me, my favorite thing to do is like get shrooms at the beginning and just go. You know, shock can play a part, but I feel like if you get like trip shrooms and you're able to just use them lap 1 and 2, you're just too far gone for shock to make a difference. Like we've seen it so many times in the past where somebody may use like a 6th or 7th place star to dodge, able to chain, get past the first shortcut, but not able to really get into top 2 because top 2 may be too far gone from those shrooms. So shortcut definitely very crucial here at the beginning of laps, and it seems like Xander was able to golden into first, doing just that lap 1, and is looking to keep this lead.
And no shrooms being pulled in 2nd or 3rd, but Flairy has some in 4th, and he may still have one more, and a nice banana spot there, as well as a snipe coming in, I think is what that banana ended up being.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely a snipe from possibly Luke, maybe Noctl sniping his own teammate, but I believe Noctl was shrimming, so really well played by Luke there from the looks of it, and we're going to see a lot of pressure in the top from Team UK as they're in the 1-3 spots. Really curious to see who has shock. I believe Twingy was just goldening back. We saw last place just hitting the chain chomp, so don't believe anybody has shock yet, so not going to come into play by first set, I believe.
Oh, someone's billing in 9th, and that's Jazz, so this could be a great opportunity here for Twingy to be able to pull it. Ooh. He's got a chance, but no one, at least at this point, has it, so unless he pulled it right there, and that's a risky green there, but more UK players coming in.
Yeah, and we need
bottom 3 for Norway, and this gap is almost too much at this point.
They need it. They need shock so bad right now. UK, just again, doing a great job outrunning. I think Xander's still in first, possibly. Yeah, so we're seeing actually a top 2 right now from Team UK. And it looks like Norway just kind of falling behind here in this bottom 3, and UK gonna get another strong race. Oh, we see a shot coming out, nobody dodging.
At the end, but nothing. Wow. Absolutely no impact shock there. That's just a little unlucky there for Norway, not being able to pull the shock until the very end and not having the dodges to go along with it when they had a good position to actually be able to catch up there. Just not getting it until later, maybe holding on dodges too long, and Twingy makes the call that, hey, I'm in last, I should get it if anyone. So they continue to hold those dodges, and then at lap 3, you still don't have it. You just have to pull the trigger and go. You have to be able to catch up, because if you don't get it, no matter what, you're screwed. But yeah. Noctl coming in with first, at least saving the race a little bit, but bottom 3 for Norway, still a loss of a race, and Jeenu really struggling down here at the bottom.
Yeah, so just like the repeating pattern we've seen over and over again, man. Team UK just taking over the front spots, and you know they literally just said we're out here to play today, man. We're gonna just keep running, and really kind of the opposite of what we're seeing from generic Mario Kart, with commotion, items everywhere, people getting taken out. We're just not seeing that this war, and UK just enjoying it. They're basking in the sun, basking in the glory, saying, I love this right now. Take me home, baby. Take me home. It's coming home, as they would say in the UK.
In the UK, yeah, dude, I'd love to see that football chant in the chat, by the way, because the UK Smash scene uses that chant all the time, too, and it's really funny to see it in a Mario Kart Twitch chat.
That's so funny.
It is indeed coming home right now. UK up by 46 with 4 races to go and no signs of being stopped. Very unfortunate GP for Norway.
It looks like Twingy and Jeenu swap spots, so I think they're going to have Jeenu go backwards and Twingy take over the running now, just to mix things up. I think Jeenu's probably having the nerves get the best of him here, not used to running on this type of stage for the World Cup, so maybe they need to mix things up here, and hopefully this works out for them and they can start bringing it back.
Is this what you guys expected? Did you guys expect this result at all?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, for one, not that it couldn't have gone either way, but for one, I would have given the edge to Norway, but I thought this would have been neck and neck the whole time, man. And Norway is just kind of getting worked right now.
Yeah. No, 100% agree that my expectation was that Norway was I thought it was gonna be close. I thought it was gonna be closer, and I thought Norway would be in the advantage, like getting the bigger races. But to my surprise, it just hasn't been what I was expecting in terms of, in-game play, items that we expected to see coming out and whatnot. And yeah, I thought Norway would definitely be in the lead by now. Wally, what's your take? What did you think would be happening right now?
I thought that UK would win, but I thought it would have been done differently. I thought they were going to win through the bagging route, and Norway would be able to at least play the mid pack and occupy the top spots and really hurt the big time T-tiers of UK with items, and that just hasn't been the case. UK's T-tiers have been able to just be in the front and run without any sort of hindrance, and you can see what happens. They just take over the whole game when that happens, and right away, Barney getting pushed off.
Bro, who gets pushed off there? I don't think I've seen that in ages. So unfortunate for Barney. Luke looking to take cut here, and a very smooth, very quick cut, but unfortunate clips the wall. And Shaun looking like he failed the cut. So Fox taking him out. We're gonna see a top 2. We see our man Twingy saying, "I'm done bagging, man. Get me in the front. Let's go."
he just told Jeenu, "Move over, baby. I got you covered. Let's go right now. It's game time."
Oh, but
and
Luke said, "I'm not holding off either, man. I got these right." Peace, Twingy. Twingy, get back there. Get back bagging, man. That's what he's saying right now. But no, Luke looking strong with his mega in second. Wonder who's in first, because I think we saw Fox.
I think it's Fox.
I thought it was Sunday taken out. I'm not sure.
Did he? Oh, we'll see.
Maybe. I think you're right, actually. Wait. I'm so good. We see Xander in first. Yeah, so we see Xander in first.
Okay, so top 2 for UK right now. Now Barney does have a shroom here. Let's see if they block it. Xander goes for the ultra in first, and no block coming in for Luke.
What a beast. Oh, and Barney barely makes it. And yeah, Luke wanted to hold on to his mega there. Didn't want to use it to block, which may have been a mistake. Maybe UK has shock right now, but Xander says, I've got the biggest cojones in the world, and I'm just going to go for ultra in first on lap 2. Curious to see if he does it again lap 3. Can we get some chance in the chat for a Xander Ultra lap 3 in first?
Is he just gonna go? Is he just gonna do it? Is he the type of player? Dude, Xander is such a legend to me. He's been like the best, like arguably, top 5 in the world at like 3 different Mario games.
Oh, he didn't do it, dude. He's so. Oh, come on. I can't even say the word. He's such a chicken.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I wasn't on the cast right now, dude.
I wanted him to swing. I wanted him to swing. Just go for ultra. No care in the world. Just really show I'm the best. Get out of my way.
But
let me just nail that coffin down for you, Team Norway.
Yeah, he wants to nail in the coffin for sure. And as we were saying before, Luke was holding on to that mega, held on to it for the whole race, and it paid off as he gets a free second. Jazz also dropping a star. Jazz team player, man. MVP right now. Dropping the star, dodging Luke, securing that top 2. And another good race for Team UK. It's coming home, fellas. It's coming home.
All the mid spots there occupied by Norway, and Twingy getting third right off the bat. Do we mention that it's more than Jeenu last GP? No. Okay, no. We're just gonna keep going. Twingy really though coming in hot though, really letting them know just I can run this. We got this. They need 3 big races. It's not over. I mean, occupying all the mid spots there. at least gives them a chance in the next 3 races. But there has to be nothing less than a top 3 the rest of the way.
We see the funny. I think it might officially be home TBH. I like that chant in the chat. Very, very good call out from my man. Whoever said that in the chat, you're a beast. But yeah, hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I know we are casting this. It's been a great World Cup so far. A lot of exciting matches, and this is definitely one of them. Interested to see if Team Norway will mount a comeback.
I do think this is really interesting. So from Norway's perspective, right, they have made it out of groups already. They've officially, like, they're guaranteed to make it out of groups, and this was a fight for a better seed in the bracket, because right now losing this means they just have a stronger opponent in round 1 of the top 8. So at least Norway can walk away from this knowing that, hey, we're still in the tournament, we have a chance to regroup. Maybe we adjust the lineup a little for the next one. Maybe we just need to practice a little this week to smoothen things out. It's not over for them. I think that's like just worth noting.
Yeah, no, there's definitely got to be a comeback in store right now for the homies. We're gonna see what they got in store.
Even long term, let's say Norway has to go up against a better seed anyway. That's not even the end of the world, because these are both teams that I could see being contenders to win the whole thing. And if Norway goes in and has to play a better seed, that may end up helping them in the long run, right? You don't have a quote-unquote weaker first round team, and you just come out after that ready for the next team, and not having this whole mentality of, okay, well, we just played a weaker team, we got this in the bag, and getting overconfident and just messing up in various stages of the next match.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing maybe that could have happened was that, maybe Norway, knowing that they're already advancing to the next round, just saying, oh, maybe we should just let other people have a chance to play before the bracket stage comes. So good on them if that's the case, to let Twingy and Jeenu run, as we saw Kyon not playing in this match. And UK maybe taking the win here, could see a big comeback, but if so, pretty good on Norway to let other members play, as 10-man roster, want to see other people playing and not people just kind of hogging all the spots.
Yeah, at least 2, 3, 4 coming in right now for UK, and a nice fib down from whoever was in first for Team Norway. I don't know if it was Fox or not, and really kind of decent positions. It's Barney in first, so 1-4 right now for Team Norway.
Barney,
and, go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry, Barney in an amazing spot, as this is the best running track in the game. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Walt.
He has to say it at least once every war, because this track inevitably comes up. Look at all these new viewers in chat, dude. You're just misleading them. It's a false statement. They're going to walk into this game being like, oh, yeah, my favorite running track, Delphino Square. I think, like, right now, this race is looking well enough in UK's favor where it's going to be pretty difficult for Norway to make a comeback.
That POW was deadly. That POW just got all of Team Norway in the cut, I believe, and I think we're going to see a UK top 3. So, really clutch POW from Team UK. I believe that was there. Xander just disappeared. I completely lost what happened there at the end. I think Xander just kind of went under the world and reappeared somewhere behind Luke somehow. So, interesting race, to say the least. Curious to see who got first.
I think it was Barney. I don't think anyone got him out of first, and I didn't see anyone really taking cut. So I don't know how Barney could have not gotten first there, but we'll see, because anything can happen when it comes to Delphino Square. Like you said, it's the best running track in the game.
Yeah, I think it's a UK 2 through 5, though, from what I was seeing. And yep, that's exactly what we see. Barney managing to squeeze out that first place, as we saw UK in top 3. So must have been a good cut taken by Barney. UK maybe called the POW a little bit late trying to get him in the cut, but was able to target POW the other Norway members going for it. So really well played with that POW by Team UK, and using their resources really well to their advantage. Playing, as I said before, just kind of playing patiently, using stuff to their advantage. And this is what you have to do, like as a high level team, to kind of push you over the next hump, to just kind of use those items smart, efficiently, and in the best way possible to get your team the win.
Yeah, at this point though, you're at desperation mode. You have to 5-run the next 2 races in order to win if you're Team Norway, and you can't get anything less than top 4 sixes. So
yeah,
we'll see what they end up going for. And there's a GB2 pick coming in for Team Norway.
Let's go.
So let's go.
That's hype. I want GB2, man. Come on, pick it. Come on, man.
62 points with 2 to go.
Wanted to see it. Wanted to see the 5-run, man.
Unfortunate. Coconut Mall gonna be a tougher one to make it work on. I think this is pretty much do or die for Norway, but I think like with the amount they're down by and also the stakes of the match being relatively low at this point, I have to imagine like Norway's checking out a bit. Like it's hard to get in the mentality of, you know, can we come back from the 61 point deficit in within 2 races and take it super seriously when I think like the alternative is losing and advancing to the bracket anyway.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of being like, oh, we're gonna advance anyway. Like, why stress over it, you know? But still looking to win it here, I think. Or do we see people bagging? No, we still see people bagging. So not gonna be looking to go for all the glory here, but still gonna be seeing. Oh, nice snipe coming out from the man Barney. But still going to see Xander in that top spot, keeping the first place. We've seen him in first/second a lot of these races, and it's been helping out Team UK a lot as he's been able to just keep that front presence. And sometimes that's just kind of all you need in these wars. Need somebody up there to keep your team intact. But also I've seen other Team UK members in top 2, top 3. So doing a really good job just running overall from Team UK.
Yeah, I really think that was the where we made the mistake of assuming that, you know, Norway was going to be the ones that controlled the front spots more and that UK would be the ones that have to come up from dodging, and they've just really shown that, you know what, we're here, we can get to the front and just hold it without any sort of problems, and then Norway has nothing that they can do about it. So really just exceptional gameplay coming out from Team UK all the way through this match.
Yeah, they've kind of proven that they're a top team. You know, we saw some like questionable scrim results / questionable like even early stage wars that maybe we kind of doubted their skill and team play, but you know, they've just been taking over this war, proving to us, making me eat my words, saying, oh, you know what, we're just gonna take out like one of the best teams in the whole World Cup. No big deal.
Yeah, I think Norway was one of the teams that is talked about a lot when people talk about who will, you know, win the whole event, and UK in that conversation as well. But I think a lot of people would agree that, you know, Norway had a little bit of an edge, but the full roster from UK just showing up for this match, and honestly kind of playing this match perfectly. It felt like the matches they played, or like the races they played from the front, were so dominating. They always did a really good job of getting Norway out of top spots. And when it came down to bagging and like playing from the back, they did that as well when they needed to. It felt like UK was just the whole package this war, and Norway couldn't really find their footing at all.
Yeah. It really kind of reminds me of the beginning when we were saying that, you know, this isn't a UK team that we really saw in scrims. We saw a lot of different players from Klein and British bagging or British running and Sammy running that we didn't see this lineup of UK, so we kind of questioned the chemistry issues, and there are none. Spoiler alert, there are no chemistry issues looking at UK this lineup right now, and if you didn't have them as a high contender before, you definitely have them now after this dominating performance.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, Wally. Like I said before, UK making me eat my words, and excited to see what they're going to be doing in the next stages. I think the next match we have on stream after this is Team Latin America versus Ireland. Am I not mistaken there?
Indeed. Right after this, we have this last race, but we will be heading into Latin America versus Ireland fairly quickly. Brawly, I take it you'll be casting that one. Full bias.
If you're gonna let me cast a war in for the team that I'm on, I will take it 100%.
Indeed.
I'm not gonna be playing.
I want to hear the passion on mic, and frankly, I think that'll be an exciting one.
I'll be yelling.
Because we haven't been able to see LTA play that much. Will they fall apart without their star player Broly playing? I don't know. We will find out just in one more race. For those just tuning in, we're wrapping up UK versus Norway. They're on the last race of this event. Unfortunately, Norway not able to win. It's impossible to take it. Both of these teams advancing to the bracket stage. Just to give you an idea of what that bracket's going to look like, we do have Norway and UK. They were the 4th and the 5th seed. So they were already close in skill, and with the bracket happening next weekend, it looks like UK will be playing the 6th seed, which is likely to be Canada or potentially USA East, depending on how today shapes up, and then Norway will be playing most likely also USA East or Canada, depending on how things shape up today. So we'll have USA East and Canada playing out the remainder of their wars today, and we'll have results for their group. They'll be the final piece in the puzzle for seeing what that bracket is going to look like. But obviously, regardless of how that shapes up, Canada and USA East versus either Norway or UK, I think both of those matches will be really interesting in the bracket stage when everything is on the line. You're just playing to get eliminated at that point.
Yeah, at that point, that's when we're going to see a lot of the 5 runs coming out, the desperation picks, a lot of the big risks being taken. But for now, people playing a little bit more reserved as they want that plus-minus and just want to make it over to the next round, which is what you should be playing for. But yeah, last race, DDR here. Looks like a 3-4, 2-4 from UK. No, I think Barney going to sneak in that 4th. So looks like a winning race possibly for Norway, but overall, UK just dominating the performance. So killing it. And that's a wrap from this war. We'll see how the results pan out. But guys, any takeaways from this war? Expectations that were obviously broken. And just want to hear your thoughts on this war.
I will say that this totally has changed my expectations of UK in this tournament. I think UK has gone from a team that I expected to do fairly well to a team that I think has a very realistic shot at winning the event.
Yep.
I think that's honestly my main takeaway from this one. How about you, Wally?
I watched that last race from Luke's perspective, as we saw that the majority of the time that we were watching Luke there. That was actually my expectation of how this war was going to go in general. Someone who's very gifted at TTs and who's very strong at just pure running and TT lines, you watch that race where he's going in and out for different items at different positions. He's doing things like taking the mega cut, things that puts him out of his comfort zone where he's not as efficient as some of the other players. And that was what I was thinking this whole match would be. So if teams could put them into that kind of box where you force their best runners and most notable T-tiers to do things outside their comfort zone, I think you can beat UK, but I think UK just looked tremendous today as a